So the next thing I'm going to do is max settings. Just go to System, Preferences. Then here I'm just basically looking at different stuff. General, the thing I normally do, set this to Chrome. There's something here that's dark. I don't remember where. Oh, here it is. No, I don't want that one. Alright, so we got dark menu bar. Default browser's Chrome. So now I'm going to go to desktop and screensaver. I don't know what the heck my setting was here. Is this what I have no idea why I have this setting listed. I have no idea what I was doing here. But yeah, change your desktop, whatever. I don't care. I'm just going to close that because I don't know why I even have that here. All right. So the next thing I do is my dock down here at the bottom. I don't like this being as big as it is. It always drives me insane. Another thing that I tend to do, and it's this last one, I pretty much drag all my icons off the dock. So almost all of these I'm going to take off. So take this off. Well, this is going to be a little bit harder. I don't know if you actually have to move this stuff, but let me get this out of the way so it's just going to be a little easier. So the reason I remove all this stuff is because I don't tend to use the dock to open anything. If you're somebody who uses the dock, then go for it. But I tend to command space. And if I want something like Finder or, whatever else, I'll open it that way. Or I'll open things to the terminal. So as a result, I don't really use any of this. The dock is just something that you can't fully get rid of, to my knowledge. So I do everything in my power to make it pretty much non-existent. So I know this is boring, but that's what I'm doing. So you're going to see that as I'm removing those. All right. So I've got all those removed. These ones are sort of showing up because I have apps open, so they're going to show up in there. And I'm going to click this to say that I've done that. Now I need to make the size small. So I shrink it about as small as you can go. So it's tiny, you can see that. Then I right click, go to dock preferences. And then in here, I take the position on screen. I tend to make it right or left. I don't know which one you prefer, but right or left. Then I will also automatically hide and show the dock. So that's this one. So hide and show, position on screen left, magnification. I'll do something like this. So if I really want the dock, I should be able to get it. So you'll see here, I can find it if I need it, but I pretty much never use it. So by putting it over there, it's mostly out of the way. And now whenever I go to, actually stretch things to their full height, I can actually use the bottom of the screen. That's a big reason why I don't like it down there. All right. So that should be everything there. Next thing I need is mission control, which is here. And then there's something automatically rearrange. I don't like it rearranging. So what this does is when you hit control up, I think. Yeah, we have spaces up here. So I have several spaces. If you've ever used these in a Linux environment or anything like that, basically you can switch between spaces so you can have different windows open. You'll see me use this a lot in some of my videos where I'll have something like my window, a browser in one space and my editor in another space. So I do this to sort of separate spaces. Another thing I'll do is I'll stick like my email and my Slack in one space. So this is where I'm handling like customer support and emails and that sort of thing. So when I switch to that space, I'm kind of in that mindset and allows me to sort of isolate things a little bit. If you have this setting checked, it'll rearrange them based on which one was used the most often or most frequently. I like mine to be consistent so I can just sort of, go to the right one and expect stuff to be there. All right, so I did this. I added a few spaces. The next thing I want to do is I want to come back here and go to sound. So most of you probably won't care about this, but I like to have my sound shown in the menu bar. One, I can just click it and change stuff. But the other thing is if you hold option and you click on this, you can actually change things like the input and the output device. This can be very handy when you're recording or when you're switching between devices, so you can make sure that you're using the right one. For instance, I might switch between speakers and headphones and different stuff like that. So having that in the menu bar so I can hold option when I click. So you're holding option on the keyboard. And if you're using like a Windows keyboard, if you've remapped. By default, the Windows key is going to be like the Command key in Mac, and the Alt key is the Option key. I always reverse those so that it's like a Mac keyboard. And on a Mac keyboard, you'll see the Option button. So yeah, when you click that, you just have a little bit more flexibility for those. So it just makes it easy to swap stuff. The next thing, Energy Saver. This is, again, preference. I just have it on this list because this is my setup process. I think I do computer to never sleep, and this is because it's plugged in. And generally speaking, if I don't shut my computer off, I have it doing something that I don't want it to go to sleep. For instance, it's processing videos or doing something. Otherwise, I'll shut it off. Oh, yeah, there's also a second thing. The Hackintoshes, it's very common when you build them to have issues waking from sleep, and that's something I don't want to deal with fixing most of the time. So I don't even know if it works on this one. I haven't tried. But, you know, just in case, that might be something you want to do. I don't want to put hard disks to sleep when possible. And I'm going to uncheck, wait for Ethernet network access. I think this one you can get to work fine, but I'm not going to mess with it. All right, so I think that's all of these settings here. So I'll go ahead and end this video, and then in the next one we can mess with the Finder stuff, but that should be all the system preference stuff.